Good morning, everyone. This is Mornings with Mo on Fry, with Mo and Fry. Sorry. Yes. I don't know why Dennis Heaton, uh, they continue to besmirch my name with that bicycle hussy. It's ridiculous. I did petition for them to use a different nickname. I don't know if my non-legal lawyer petition went through because it basically was the Will Smith get your name get my name out your mouth kind of thing. So it might be that they didn't take it seriously. I need to get Dave White Girl Wasted, and then he will, of course, plead my case as such. But good morning, Dennis Heaton, and good morning, Christine and Eris. Thank you for doing all of the wonderful mod YouTubey things as usual. And Peace Peony and Farm Girl Mom and Kim. Good morning. It is a wonderful Wednesday. Just throwing it out there. New book releases come out on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a dirty, smexy book addiction, they come out on Wednesdays. I might do a stream on that one day. Maybe next week, not this week though. Just uh, getting through this week. So, our first story is that four men were charged in the theft of a satirical golden toilet titled America at Churchill's birthplace. You know, when you have a toilet bowl caper, I really don't know what to do with you. But to steal a toilet, 18 karat gold toilet, you know, and why is it a toilet represents America? I mean, unless we're going with Orange Man bad, I'm a little upset at the implication that America is an 18 karat gold toilet valued at $5.9 million. And apparently, it was the work of a conceptual Italian artist, Maurizio Catalan. Well, of all the things, I really do think that the Golden Arches are really more American. And I'm just saying, if we had to have, a national symbol, I think the Golden Arches in 18 karat gold would be much better. Good morning, greedy bloke. So, London, and this is from the Associated Press, four men were charged over Monday over the theft of an 18 karat gold toilet from Blenheim Place, the sprawling English country manor where British wartime leader Winston Churchill was born. I don't know, it kinda looks like a urinal, if you ask me, but I mean, the surrounding the 18 karat toilet kinda looks like a urinal to me, but that is not the point. Uh, the toilet valued at 4.8 million pounds or $5.9 million dollars in American freedom dollars. The artwork was titled America and was intended as a pointed satire about the excessive wealth, okay, by Italian conceptual artist Maurizio Catalan. Okay, so you made a golden toilet. How is that art? Look, I know I am Midwestern. I know that I am rural. I know that I am folksy, but that is not art. That is just that is just a toilet you made gold. I know I'm not highfalutin enough to get art, but that just is a toilet you made gold. It doesn't say anything to me other than you made a golden toilet, but whatever. You have your own art. It was part of an art installation at Belheim Place near the city of Oxford a few days before it vanished overnight in September 2019. The Crown Prosecution Service said Monday it has authorized criminal charges against four men, ages range 35 to 39, over the theft. They are accused of burglary and conspiracy to transfer criminal property. Yeah, how are you going to fence a golden toilet? Like, "Hey, I got something for you. Can we, uh can we fence this golden toilet? I'd like to take this to the local pawn shop. I've got a golden toilet in the back." I could just see this on Pawn Stars. Good morning, AC's Wildflower. 7 people have been arrested over the heist, but no charges have been brought until Monday, 4 years after the toilet was stolen. Does that mean that these people have been arrested without charge? Look, I don't know the English, legal system, but I would think that you'd have to have charges to be arrested, but I don't know. The artwork has never been found. The golden toilet was fully functioning, and prior to the theft, visitors to the exhibition could book a 3-minute appointment to use it. Oh God, there were a lot of grumpies in that. A 3-minute appointment. There were a lot of grumpies left in that golden toilet. Godspeed. Police said that because the toilet had been connected to the palace's plumbing system, its removal caused significant damage and flooding to the 18th century building. UNESCO World Heritage Site filled with valuable art furniture that draws thousands of visitors a year. The Guggenheim Museum in New York, where the artwork was installed in a bathroom prior to being shown at the Belheim Palace, described the toilet as cast in 18 karat gold. The museum said the artwork invited viewers to, quote, make use of the fixture individually and privately and to experience unprecedented intimacy with a work of art. You pee in it or poo in it. It's a daggone golden toilet. Look, y'all, like I said, I may be too rural and too simple to understand the arty artness of this toilet, but it's a toilet that you made out of gold. It does all it tells me is that you have way too much free time. Good morning, Mass. In 2021, the Thames Valley Police Force investigating the theft suggested it would be a challenge to recover the toilet. Will we ever see that toilet again? Personally, I wonder if it's in the shape of a toilet, to be perfectly honest, the police and crime commissioner Matthew Barber told the BBC. If you have that large amount of gold, I think it seems likely that someone has already managed to dispose of it one way or the other. Yeah, for the love of all that I can do. The four suspects will appear at Oxford Magistrate Court on November 28th, prosecutor said. So they caught four people that may possibly have stolen this toilet. We may never see the toilet again. The art world is dead. I mean, I am proud of Mr. Mo when he does any plumbing because I don't understand it. And the one time I had to snake a toilet, I was traumatized for the rest of my life because how one can get a Hot Wheel down a toilet when Mr. Mo happens to be out on, annual training, and then I have to snake a toilet. I have learned a skill, but it will forever haunt me. Good morning, Monty G. So, yes, someone stole the arty art toilet, and who knows? We may never find it again. You might be wearing it around your neck if you happen to shop at unscrupulous places around Europe. I don't know. We don't know where the toilet is. This is apparently real. No regrets. This is real. I weep for humanity. Woman who got boyfriend Kevin's name tattooed on her forehead claims it's not a prank. Yes, it's real. Thinking about getting a guy's name ink across your kisser? The tat's no-brainer, literally. Sure, being head over heels in love is a many splendored thing, but let's face it, permanently stamping your partner's name on your forehead is something most sweethearts would refuse to consider unless, of course, you've got a lover like Kevin. Apparently, this happened. This is real. Y'all, I can't. What in the Walmart am I looking at? What in the Rapture is this? This cannot why? For God's sake. Look, as a person that has no tattoos, I don't get it, but oh dear God. So let's see. Quote, getting my boyfriend's name tattooed on my face, gushed ink-loving Londoner Anna Stanikovsky, Staniskovsky 27, in the captions of an eye-popping TikTok post. Let's do it. The footage, which has nearly 19 billion views, appears to show the woman getting Beau Kevin Freshwater's moniker just below her hairline in bold, giant black lettering. But skeptical body art aficionados are side eyeing, oh gosh, Anna, questioning the over the top tat with a demonstration of her delusional devotion to Kevin or simply a stage stunt for social media clout. There's literally no needle in the machine, noted one doubtful detractor. It's a prank. There's no blood or redness, crowed an equally unconvinced cynic. Anna did not immediately respond to the post request for comment. However, in a series of subsequent clips, the intrepid paramour insisted her controversial forehead etching is in fact authentic. Yes, it's real, she confirmed online. I can't believe it myself that I did it. I know it's a bit crazy, Anna continued, but I like to express my feelings. I think if you really love someone, you should be able to show it off. Or a pen. You could have a pen. I made a petty patch with, like, rhinestones and stuff I found at Walmart. You can, get his name airbrushed. They have these really cheesy you can get his, picture on, you get it airbrushed. I mean, there's other things you could do. You could get, his and hers towels. That's, there's other things that you could get. "I'm with stupid" T-shirts, both pointing at you. Her forehead says Kevin, her boyfriend's name. We're trying to figure out if it's real or not, but oh dear God. Oh, oh Lord. Yeah. Please, dear God, don't tattoo anyone's name on you unless it's your kids. And even then, think before you tattoo. I'm not saying you won't love your kids again, but for the love of all that is holy. Yeah, a mixtape. You can get a mixtape. You can watch movies together. You could hold hands. I mean, there's so many more things you could do, but okay. She went on to advise guys that their single significant others should follow suits. If your girlfriend doesn't want to tattoo your name on her face, you need to find yourself a new girlfriend. Well, I guess Mr. Mo is going to have to find himself a new girlfriend and wife. Look, I'm about to put my kids' birth years because I've got 3 kids that were born on the 21st of a month, and I swear to God, every time I go to a pharmacy, it's like, "Can you give me a multiple choice option? Because 'Cause I'm pretty sure I can pick out one of those things right here, just right here, so when I go to the pharmacy, I can remember which one is which." Just saying. Uh And when asked what she'll do if her love for Kevin doesn't stand the test of time, the scripted for millennial quipped, "If we do break up, I'll just find myself another Kevin." Anna added, "I don't know why people think it's such a or think getting such a big tattoo on your forehead is a big deal. You can still find a job and stuff." No, no, you can't. If I'm running a professional-ish, place and you come in and I see Kevin on your forehead, I'm gonna say, "Well, thank you for bringing in your application, and we'll call you right back if we ever find a position open for you." That's what you're gonna hear a lot, like, "Oh, well, we'll give you a call back if something opens up," and then down. That's what you're gonna hear if you go in without concealing this giant Kevin, because people are gonna think, "Oh my god, this person makes redonkulous choices." Redonkulous. And people don't wanna hire redonkulous. They wanna hire hardworking, not morons. I'm not saying you're moronic, I'm just saying you've got a tattoo on your effing forehead. I am not in the mood to deal with stupidness today. Rather than being inspired by her fearless act, thousands of cyber critics eagerly gave Anna's tat two thumbs way down. Quote, "You need a mental health evaluation. That is not normal behavior. You're giving psychotic vibes, and Kevin should run immediately," spat one underwhelmed onlooker. Real Delulu wrote another naysayer using a popular Gen Z slang word for delusional. I'm learning all the words. Delulu, I like that. And she has a pretty face. but that's not centered, and oh my god, it's not even straight. All the things are bad about this. It's not centered, it's not straight, your forehead is off center, what is wrong with you? The OCD in me is dying. It's off center, ma'am sir. Whoever's doing this, why are you doing this off centered? Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to go through. Quote, "You ruined your beautiful face over some dude that will break up or cheat with you. Nice choice," penned a pessimist. "You'll regret this sooner than you think," predicted another. You guys, am I the only one? It's off center and it's slanting down. This is hurting my soul. Yeah, I hope so. Anna isn't the only hopeless romantic to face flack for putting ink, master's gun to her head. R&B hit maker Summer Walker, 27, was hoisted onto social media's roasting pit after inscribing her now ex-boyfriend Larry's name under her left eye in November 2021. And in June 2022, Torres Reynolds, a 35-year-old ink addict from the UK, sent skin crawling after slicing off an arm tattoo of her sweetie's name and mailing it to. What is wrong with people? Okay, that's it. Look, y'all, there are some calming breathing technique things on YouTube. They have weird kind of like hippie music in the background, but I need us to all practice 8 count breathing because I think we have all gone off the deep end. Holy bejesusums. Cutting that is some Ed Gein craziness. Dude, I'm glad you ran, but holy bejeeminies. Quote, he'd been a naughty boy and cheated on me, so obviously I wasn't gonna keep his name on me anymore, explained the Brit, who joked that self-mutilation was quicker than lasering it off. Oh. Well, congratulations, Hannibal Lecter. Et, ma'am. You just gave me the heebie-jeebies, and I can't even with you, ma'am. Yipes. Even Fry is like, "I will sleep outside my bed for that." Whew. "Dear, you need more lingerie. A deer crashes," and this was, given to me in my Mo Schmo area of the MLS, Law and Crime MLS Making Law Simple Discord. So, if you are a member of MLS's Discord and you go to Mo Schmo at the bottom, you can always send in, odd news stories. You can also send them in to my email, which is in the community thing. I believe so. So if you find odd news stories, but yes, a deer crashes through a lingerie store in Michigan. Well, apparently everyone needs lingerie, even deer. Did you assume his gender? Look, he needs a corset. He needs. A deer crashed into a lingerie store in Michigan and trashed the inside of the shop before finding its way back outside. Curvaceous Lingerie in Lansing shared security camera footage on Facebook showing the buck crashing through the glass and running wild through the store, knocking over mannequins and displays in the process. The store's owner said the deer shattered multiple mirrors while sliding across the floor. The deer eventually left through a door that was propped open. The store said owner said no one was injured during the deer visit, but the store will be temporarily closed for cleaning and repairs. Now I want to go to this. I like curvaceous lingerie. I'm just saying, you know, they did say a buck, but maybe we are assuming the deer's gender. Maybe he did want. Look, do they have an online presence? Because I think I might need some new things. And if they're curvaceous and such, I'm there. Um, in scary news, they opened him up to remove his appendix and they accidentally took out much more, a lawsuit said. You know, It's called practicing medicine for a reason because if they actually got medicine right, they'd be, doing medicine right, but it's called practicing medicine for a reason, y'all. A Washington man who went to an emergency room over stomach pains is suing a hospital and two doctors after he claims surgeons removed the wrong organ from his body during surgery. I give up. There probably is a website. All right, well, okay. Any hoozle, this story, they thought they were going to remove his appendix. They didn't. He had to have 2 surgeries because they thought they were gonna remove his appendix. They accidentally removed his bowel, but he did get his appendix back, and he's doing okay now. I mean, he's around to file a lawsuit, so he is doing okay. I will not do this video, but we will do another story since alright. No, I don't want to. Subscribed at all. We'll do a different one. Well, I don't know how the hell you accidentally remove a bowel. Why the hell did my doctor come out and pat me on the left leg after doing my surgery, even though he knows that's my affected CRPS leg? Because they're people. Okay, in a replacement story, 3 decades later, a gynecologist is accused of using his own sperm to inseminate patient. An Idaho woman who received fertility treatment from her gynecologist is suing him after she learned the doctor used his own sperm to inseminate her more than 3 decades ago. Holy Jesus God. A lawsuit filed by Sharon Hayes, a Spokane County Superior Court, claims former Spokane, Washington doctor David R. Claypool violated the state's medical malpractice statute, which requires doctors to get informed consent from patients for treatment. This kid has to feel terrible. This spring, Hayes' 33-year-old daughter initially took an at-home DNA test seeking answers about, quote, ongoing health issues, the lawsuit claimed, and learned not only was the ex-OBGYN her biological father, but she shares DNA with 16 people in Washington state. Holy Jesus. This dude used his swimmers for a bunch of people. Hayes of Kootenai, look, this county, I'm gonna call it Cootie County, about 30 miles west of Spokane, is among throngs of women who allege that they were tricked by the doctor they trust to inseminate them with sperm from a chosen or anonymous donor. The women all claim that they didn't learn the identity of their child's father until the children took genetic tests, some until decades after they were born. Quote, my initial reaction was deeply, deeply rooted guilt for even finding out this information because my mom never told me about any of this until I took the DNA test. Hayes' daughter, Brianna Hayes, who took the test, told KREM TV. Anonymous donor use. According to the 8-page suit, in 1989, Claypool, whose license expired in 2010, according to the Washington State Department of Health, allegedly told Hayes he, quote, would obtain a donor genetic material from anonymous donors such as college and or medical students who physically resembled Hayes' husband at the time. He then performed multiple artificial inseminations on Hayes, and the suit claims each time he made her pay $100 in cash before the procedure. This dude also got paid for using his own swimmers. This is ridiculous. And he got paid for it. I mean, capitalism at its best, I guess. After at least the second artificial inseminations, Uh, Hayes became pregnant, the suit read, and Claypool never told her he used his own sperm for the process. Well, I mean, I guess you cut out the middleman and you get $100. Material Materially different. Hayes's daughter, born in June of 1990, uploaded previously obtained genetic tests to myheritage.com on March 6, 2022, which revealed Claypool is her father. The suit goes on to say the former doctor's physical characteristics, which were materially different than those of Hayes's husband. As a result, the suit claims Hayes suffered, quote, severe and traumatic emotional distress, sleeplessness, anxiety, disruptions in her relationship with her daughters, along with unnamed damages due to Claypool's reported medical negligence. According to the suit, Claypool allegedly violated the state's medical malpractice statute, which requires doctors to get informed consent from patients for treatments. No, how about you just feel grody because he used his own swimmers? I mean, that's kind of how I would feel. Dennis, he is an anonymous. Broken Baker. Always the double standards. I know. Always the double standards. Quote, there is no law in Washington state that prohibits doctors from covertly using their own sperm to artificially inseminate a patient, probably because no one figured they would have to make a law about that. I know we're shocked, but, we probably didn't think like, "Hey, doctors, you can't just squeeze one out before a patient comes in if you don't have, college students that are coming in to rub one out, for $5 because they're poor and they wanna get some Natty Light." So, it's almost like no one figured you would just use your own swimmers. They figured that there would be plenty of poor college students in the state of Washington. I can't with you. And it is proven difficult to patrol fertility fraud because few states have relevant criminal or civil statutes. At the federal level, laws criminalize fertility fraud, but federal prosecutors have successfully used generally applicable federal crime statutes to charge people for, quote, engaging in contact with fertility fraud schemes, according to a fact sheet from the Federation of American Scientists. Quote, it's very clear what informed consent is, and in this case, Sharon selected a profile that was clearly not Dr. Claypool, said R.J. Amarola, the Hayes family lawyer, told KREM TV, the outlet. Quote, we feel very confident that he violated the medical malpractice statute. The lawsuit also names Claypool's wife as a defendant in the case and seeks financial damages and requests a trial. Claypool's attorney, Daniel Dalton, did not immediately reach out with a comment. Yeah, seriously. Like, hey, dad, me and my 17 brothers and sisters would like to know why the hell you didn't use a donor because it's kind of gross. Yeah, I remember there being another case like this, and they all had some sort of eye condition, and that's how they knew that the doctor was using his own swimmers because every single child. I don't know why the wife's in trouble. I mean, I don't know if maybe the wife was like, "Hey, why don't you ever wanna, do anything fun with me? Oh, you're using all your supply at work. Oh, okay." I mean, unless she knew that, I don't know why. Well, unless she was helping mass, but yeah, I remember a similar one because they all had something like a lazy eye or something. I remember that one. I have no idea. Sal, I don't know. This was a switch story. Alright. In a Florida woe man, and I definitely need to work on a now in Florida news, stinger. A Florida mother faces criminal charges after trying to run over a school staff member during morning drop-off, deputies said. You know what? Every time I think about my morning drop-offs, I always relive the Mr. Mom thing, where at first he's, like, "Why are you coming out here, and why are you doing this?" And we drop off in the East, and we released in the West, and then at the end, it's, he's running the drop-off line, and he's like, "Come on, go." I always feel like that when I'm in the drop-off line. I always love Mr. Mom. Love that movie. Michael Keaton is a national treasure. Please stay alive forever. Yeah, you probably thought it was gonna be my picture, but I don't live in Florida because there's gators there, okay? A 42-year-old Florida mother faces criminal charges after she allegedly hit the gas, revving the engine, and sped toward a high school staff member, forcing him to dive into the bushes to evade the oncoming vehicle during morning drop off last week. Well, look, we've all been there. Just saying. Tara Janae, I think I said that right. Samuels Catalan is accused of trying to hit a staffer at Port Charlotte High School on November the 2nd. The suspect then tried to exit the parking lot the same way she entered. She was stopped by a staff member who told her she could not exit the way due to buses coming in to unload students, authorities said in a news release. Quote, this exchange agitated the woman who eventually backed up, turned her vehicle around, leading the staff member to believe she was leaving as instructed, the news release said. While this occurred, a bus began pulling in and was forced to wait for the suspect's vehicle to clear. Once the bus continued on its route to let students off, um, or once clear, the bus continued and on its route and let students off. As the bus passed, the woman turned her vehicle in the direction of the staff member and hit the gas, revving the engine and traveling at a high rate of speed toward him. The member was forced to dive into the bushes to evade the oncoming vehicle. He reported the incident, including the suspect's license plate, to the school deputy, and an investigation was launched. Authorities said a witness and security footage corroborated the incident. She allegedly told the deputies she preferred to exit through the entry area to avoid speed bumps that caused damage to her vehicle and denied trying to strike the man with her vehicle. Quote, the pickup and drop off lines at the school are frustrating at times, but we absolutely will not cut corners on ensuring the safety of the students and staff. Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Promomel Pramel said in a news release, quote, I'm glad that our victim here is uninjured, and I hope that this mother rethinks the example she's setting to her child. Samuels Catalan was charged with aggravated assault on a public or private education employee and is being held in the Charlotte County Jail without bond. Yeah, if you're having a bad day, you still need to listen to the rules. You still need to do what you're told. There are children around. It's not the time to go all killdozery, okay? And, speed bumps wouldn't do damage to your car if you didn't fly over them. This is something that Mr. Mo had to teach me. I learned it, but yeah, if you go slowlier over the speed bumps, you won't kill your car. It's when you try to go fastlier over it that you hurt your car. So, just a tidbit, little tidbit. If you try to speed over speed bumps, it will hurt your car. I I I don't know, Atheist Dan, I'm not gonna In other news, ET is going home to Mexico, I think. Aliens returning to Mexico. The jokes write themselves. And yeah, extraterrestrials return to Mexico, Mexico's Congress as journalists press for case for non-human beings. The lower chamber of Mexico's Congress once again turned to a spectacle Tuesday, devoting hours of its time to a controversial character who pressed the case for, quote, non human beings he said were found in Peru. Less than 3 weeks after a Category 5 Hurricane Otis devastated Acapulco, a port of nearly 1 million people, the Chamber of Deputies spent more than 3 hours listening to journalist Jose Jaime Masan and his group of Peruvian doctors. Masan and some Mexican lawmakers became the subject of international ridicule in September when he presented two boxes of supposed mummies found in Peru. He, along with others, claimed that they were non human beings that were not part of our terrestrial evolution. In 2017, Masan made similar claims in Peru, and a report by that country's prosecutor office found that the bodies were actually, quote, recently manufactured dolls which had been covered in a mixture of paper and synthetic glue to simulate the presence of skin. I guess we don't have aliens yet. The report added the figures were most certainly human made and that, quote, they are not the remains of ancestral aliens that they have tried to present, end quote. The bodies were not publicly unveiled at the time, so it's unclear if they are the same as those presented to Mexico's Congress. On Tuesday, Dr. Daniel Mendoza showed photographs and x rays of what he said was a non human being. Masson said it was, quote, a new species as it did not have lungs or ribs. Well, maybe because dolls don't have lungs or ribs. Lawmaker, oh, I'm going to wait, I might be able to say this. Lawmaker Sergio Gutierrez Luna from the governing party of President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador said, quote, all ideas and all proposals will always be welcome to debate them, hear them, and to agree or not. So apparently, instead of dealing with Hurricane Otis and, helping Acapulco, they were dealing with these guys who look now more doll-like and less cake-like than the meme. And we named them now. This is Victoria, Headless Victoria, and this is Wawita? I don't know, but it does kind of look like paper mache now that you say something. But hey, they could be aliens. We never know. Of course, this would happen in Indiana because it's my state and we can't do anything right, can we? Woman accused of intentionally crashing a car into what she thought was a Jewish school. Because, of course, here's her face. She looks extremely happy. I can't imagine. Indianapolis Metro Police Department officers arrested 34-year-old woman whom they called a quote unquote Terry or terrorist for criminal recklessness after she allegedly crashed her car into a building that she believed to be a Jewish school. But the building actually housed the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, which, according to the Anti Defamation League, is considered an anti Semitic hate group. So she was actually going after hate groups. Just say that to your lawyer, look like, "I didn't wanna go after I wasn't anti-Semitic, I was going after hate groups." Morons are dumb. Fox 59 obtained a police report stating that cops responded to a Friday 11:30 PM to call to an address for a possible hate crime in which, oh lord, Ruba Alba Almekathef, look, this last name backed into a building while multiple adults and children were inside. She admitted to investigators that she, quote, targeted uh, an Israel school because of its his Hebrew Israelite symbol for her people back in Palestine, she said. On Sunday night, the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis wrote, quote, although a Jewish facility was not targeted solely due to an ironic misidentification, this is yet another reminder to maintain security protocols, maintain vigilance, of suspicious activity and to report promptly to appropriate authority figures. Uh, Ruba is scheduled to make an initial court appearance on Wednesday. If this is publicized or televised, I will probably cover it. But doggone it, you can't even Google your, targets, ma'am. It's called Google. In ridiculous news, well, I mean, those of us who thought that our intelligence agencies were doing something good, raise your hand. Oh, I see no raised hands. Well, here's a story that proves it. If you are on the full Dale Gribble side, I mean, this proves our point. Ex-CIA officer accused of drugging and essaying dozens of women pleads guilty to federal charges. Sir, you are not unattractive. Apparently, you must be very douchey if you can't attract women without having to drug them. Seems like a you problem. I guess you'll have time in federal prison to work on your soul. A former CIA officer accused of drugging and assaulting at least 2 dozen women during various overseas postings pled guilty Tuesday to federal SA charges. Brian Jeffrey Raymond kept nearly 500 videos and photographs he took of naked, unconscious women. Or Here's a thought, CIA man. You know they keep databases. Why the hell did you film yourself? I mean, I'm glad you did because you need to be caught because 'cause you're a slimy D-bag, but holy crap, you this is why we can never figure this is why the meme with Bart Simpson, "Say the line," and it's the FBI, and it's like, "He was on our watch list." This is why every time something happens and, our intelligence agencies were like, "Well, we were just shocked to find this out." You know, take out the letter agencies. They're done. Uh, including many in which he can be seen opening their eyelids, groping or straddling them, prosecutors say. The images date to 2006 and track much of Raymond's career with the victims in Mexico, Peru, and other countries. The case is just the latest embarrassment for the CIA, in which in recent months, which has seen a reckoning over often secret and antiquated handling of sexual misconduct claims within the spy agency. The Associated Press has found at least 2 dozen women, that have come forward to tell authorities and Congress about, SA unwanted touching and what they contend are the CIA's efforts to silence them. A CIA officer trainee was convicted in August of assault and battery for wrapping a scarf around a colleague's neck and trying to kiss her inside the stairwell at the agency's headquarters in Langley, Virginia. The CIA has publicly condemned Raymond's crime, and CIA Director William Burns in May launched a series of reforms to streamline claims and support victims and more quickly discipline those involved in misconducts. Yeah, sure, dude. Sure, Jan. We believe you. Quote, as this case shows, we are committed to engaging with law enforcement to ensure justice is served. No, he's your sacrificial lamb to make it look like you're doing something, and you're gonna keep the the list of people who went to an island with a man who did not unalive himself under wrap and key, because if you let it out and we knew how many of you guys were on that frickin' airplane and went to that frickin' island, we'd lose our minds. So, tell me some more, J. Edgar Hoover. In addition, we take any allegations of sexual assault or sexual harassment extremely seriously and have taken significant steps to ensure and maintain safe and inclusive, respectful environment for our workshop force. Sure you do, Jan. Sure. Yeah, I believe you just like I believe that the Patriot Act was going to make us safer and freer. It has done wonders, hasn't it? The prosecutors described 47-year-old Raymond as an experienced predator who kept a detailed accounting of potential victims organized by name, ethnicity, and notes on their physical characteristics. Sal, you have another D large guy. He's apparently just keeping he is a type A person. He has file folders for flip's sake. Investigators combing his devices found incriminating online search history for phrases such as Ambien and alcohol and pass out, vodka and Valium. Now that just sounds like a Guns N' Roses uh, record. In one email to an online pharmacy, Raymond wrote, hello, do you have any chloral hydrate for insomnia? When he was arrested 3 years ago, Raymond had been stationed in Mexico City, where he would meet women on dating apps and invite him back to his embassy leased apartment for drinks. The San Diego native, who is fluent in Spanish and Mandarin, was only discovered in 2020 after a naked woman Raymond met on Tinder screamed for help from his balcony, prompting a worried neighbor to call the authorities. U.S. officials scoured Raymond's electronic devices and began identifying the victim, all of who described experiencing some form of memory loss during their time with him. Prosecutors had intended to call as many as 14 alleged victims during the trial. Raymond withdrew a previous guilty plea in the case last year as he successfully challenged the admissibility of certain photos that the judge ruled were illegally seized from his mobile phones after agents compelled him to give up his passcode. Other images stored on Raymond's iCloud account were admitted, however. As part of the agreement announced Tuesday, Raymond pleaded guilty to 4 of 25 criminal counts, including sexual abuse, coercion, and transportation of obscene material. Prosecutors dismissed most serious charge of aggravated sexual abuse. So, what did he actually get charged with? How much time is he going to spend? Because you don't actually say anything about that. Let's see. Okay, Raymond will face between 24 and 30 years in prison as well as supervised release for life. He better be on a registry. He will also have to pay mandatory restitution to victims. It This is just they had to know about this. You know what? They are taking all of our metadata. I I'm sorry. They knew about this. This man would be the type to brag. Look at that smirky, smugly face. He would be the type to brag. They knew. He's not a good spy. He's a bad spy. A good spy would get laid by his own self. James Bond never had to slip a Mickey in someone's drink to get someone to sleep with him. If you're a good spy, if you're James Bond, women just flock to you. This apparently is a bad spy. Pissed me off today. So, in conclusion, we'll never probably know where the golden toilet that was symbolizing America went. And I guess I'm not highfalutin enough to understand how it's art, but there you go. The world will will never cease. A woman got her boyfriend's name not centered and not even tattooed on her forehead. God help us all, and I weep for humanity. A deer crashes through a curvaceous lingerie store, and I have to see if they have an online store. Holy God. Um, we switched that. You know, a doctor just used his own swimmers on 17 patients when they wanted to be inseminated with a donor. Apparently, that was wrong, and he's getting sued by just about everyone. So, yes, just to note, you have to ask before you use your own swimmers, and I cannot believe that one has to say that. But yes, you cannot use your own swimmers. Let's see, a Florida mother and a Florida whoa, man, got really pissed off being told what to do in the pickup line, so tried to run over the staff member who told her not to do that. Now she's upset because, her car gets a little dinged up on the speed bumps, but according to Mr. Mo and other people in the chat, if you don't go fastly on the speed bumps, they won't, tear out your oil pan. So go a little slower. The aliens are returning to Mexico. Well, extraterrestrials. But people are kinda mad because, there was a Category 5 hurricane that devastated Acapulco, but instead of dealing with that, they're dealing with possibly paper mache aliens. But okay, 3 hours of that, I would watch, Mexican CNN with captions. And only in Indiana, a woman intentionally crashed her car into what she thought was a Jewish school, but is actually the Hebrew Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, which the ADL considers an anti Semitic hate group. If anyone had done any, practical Googling, they would realize that Hebrew Israelites and Jewish people are not the same thing. In fact, they don't really like each other. See Louis Farrakhan for, info. But this is probably gonna go back as a hate crime, so see fireworks incoming. But, again, why Google if you're gonna run your car into something? That's dumb. So, a Hebrew Israelite school was demolished. No one was hurt except for her pride and her lack of knowledge. And oh, wait, not that one. A former CIA person was just a plain dill hole and decided to just, try to drug and steal and, well, try to drug a bunch of women. And he was the worst James Bond ever because real James Bond didn't have to drug anyone to get the sleep. He had to just beat women off with a stick. Phrasing, I know. But still, real James Bond was like, ladies, I'm not here for commitment, I'm here for fun, and I'm gonna do some scary crap, and they were like, "James Bond, we love you." This guy's like, I have to drug them for them to even like me. He's not a good spy. The CIA really needs to work on their peopling. Those are the stories for this morning. I hope you are having a wonderful Wednesday. I will see you tonight. I am going to do, nightly newsy news. And I am not sure what I'm doing today. I know we are waiting for a verdict on the Maya case. I might do some videos, and I am trying to lock down a an interview with, my lawyer friend who helped write the amicus brief in the Delphi case for the Supreme Court. She's doing a lot of rounds right now, so I'm trying to nail that down to this weekend. Hopefully, we can get a time in and she can, come on and talk to us about that. But like I said, she is very busy. She is getting calls from everywhere, so hopefully we can get that done. Remember, it's a it will be a lovely day. Say one kind thing to yourself, one kind thing to another person today if you can. Make the world just a little better in your own neck of the woods. I have to take out a liquid resting fry and work on walking without tugging me for just a little bit. So I will see you guys very soon and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.